to talk about two great plants for late August. Damn, I wish I had planted that. This is the section where we talk about things that are looking particularly good this time of year in our gardens. And it just gives you a good idea for what might be missing or what might really make you happy for late August. But mine is wanting. It's lacking. It's underwhelming, but it's still a good plant. And here's why. So I'll go first. And I have chosen the Ophiopogon nigrescens. Well, wait, what's the third name on that? The Ophiopogon planiscapus. Planiscapus nigrescens. It's black mondo grass. And black mondo grass is not an uncommon plant. It's an ornamental grass. It only grows to about 6, 8, 10 inches tall, but it is underwhelming in the garden. But it is such a cool plant. It's a mat forming perennial. It grows in zones 6 through 9. It does have a very understated, incredibly understated pink flower in July and maybe early August.
You're really selling me, Leslie.
I know. So why do I think that you should have this plant? Because how many black plants are there? And it's deep, deep purple foliage on these thin it almost looks like liriope. It is from Asia. It is not a native plant. Deer don't like it. Bunnies don't like it. And it loves moisture. Although I read on the Missouri Botanical Database that it'll take a drought. So maybe it just loves moisture to look good. I like it because it is an incredibly good contrast with a light green. With a very light green, with almost a yellow plant. Each makes the other shine. So when you think of dark plants, even purple flowers in a perennial border, they go back in space. They do not come forward. They do not stand out. So this is a background plant, but it's a really cool background plant. And I have undersold it because I think it will over deliver for you. Do you grow it?
I think you've sullied the reputation of damn, I wish I'd planted that, honestly.
No, I really love this plant. And if I didn't have it, I'd shop for it.
I've grown it once and then removed it after being
underwhelmed.
Like no, underwhelmed. It did not mat up in that very vigorous way that even the very small Ophiopogon
It's not
does.
as dense as the mini.
It's not as dense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, it is sort of cool if you have a goth garden, and I know a lot of people do have goth gardens because they contacted me about the Pepaver.
We're talking to you, Brad. We're talking to you, Brad.
You're talking to you, Brad.
Garden Evolution, right. Baby.
And a couple others who wanted this. Oh, it's very cool. It's a black garden. So I could see it there. But you're going to have to do better selling than that for me. I think but you know what? I jumped on it when I saw it at a plant swap many, many years ago. That's why I had it, because I thought it was cool. And so that part of it, yes. Did it perform?
All right. It performs for me. It has formed a wonderful, I have a very wet garden with heavy clay, and it stays moist, and it is absolutely wonderful. I thought it was wonderful last year when it was matched with Angelina sedum. Turns out Angelina sedum doesn't really like all that moisture that Ophiopogon loves with the heavy clay in them. Yeah, so that didn't last. But with a light green coleus, like a really big leaf coleus that would go next to that, it's such an interesting foil. So on its own, meh. With something else, you're like, well, what is that? Like, that is a black plant. I think it's super cool.
All right. I want to see your photos of your clump, and I will make up my mind, and the jury will speak after that.
Okay. Please, let's lift our game by listening to Marianne's plant.
Yes, please. Let's. Actually, this week I have something completely different, which is I have an edimental. I have an ornamental edible plant. I went vegetable this week, and I know that you are sort of on the vegetables, and we're actually going to have an episode on that.
Where we make fun of me the entire time.
Oh, cannot wait. This is going to be such a great episode.
Fabulous.
But this is the Chinese red noodle bean, and I cannot say enough great things about this plant. There are no caveats. The only caveat is that you've got to keep picking it constantly, because if you don't keep picking it, it'll go, it'll fully go to seed and then it won't keep producing. So you just want to keep it producing. I just think of it as the Chinese noodle bean, but for our listeners who are here to edify their minds and keep those brains sharp, it is Vigna. It's not actually, what are beans? They're,
yeah, you got me.
Come on, Marianne.
The marvelous fruit, the more you eat, the more you toot.
No, it's
Oh God, that
fabiaceae.
French 75 is having its impact on me.
I can't bring it into my brain. Doesn't matter. This is Vigna unguiculata. Subspecies, sesquipedalis, red noodle.
It's a mouthful.
This is a bean. I wish I'd brought one. I actually have a bunch downstairs on the kitchen counter, but they are easily 24 inches long.
Holy cow.
And they are red. And I have them on a trellis, which is a piece of hog wire or hog fencing. You know, the big panels that are 4
Not
feet
familiar.
by... You're not familiar?
Not a
You don't
country
have those
girl.
down in Charlottesville?
Not a country girl.
So this makes a very, very good trellis, folks. If you go down to your southern states or your feed store and you get a piece of 4 by 16 foot welded wire hog fencing, they're panels, then you bend it over and ratchet it to the ground. I have rebar on all 4 sides, and it makes a wonderful, very easy, very cheap trellis. For pumpkins, for beans, for peas, I have New Zealand spinach on there, lots of different things. But these beans all hang down like 20, 24 inches on this thing, and they're purple. So they're easy to pick. One of the hardest things when you're picking your Kentucky bowl beans and your bush beans is, where are the beans? You see them and then, oh, wait. And then I missed all those beans. You can't miss these. It's not possible to miss them. And then here's the even better part. When you're cooking them, they don't lose their color like a lot of Kentucky pole beans do that are purple, that lose their color in cooking. And you don't have to top and tail them. I mean, you can top them, but you don't have to tail them and you don't have to string them. And then you just take a 20-inch bean. Now you take it young. You don't let it get old. And then you just chop it into bean-sized pieces. And you're done. They're amazing. I wish that I had known about these when I was with child. Well, no, but when the children had popped out. I wasn't actually with child. The children were extant at that point. I wish that I'd had the beans when the children... Okay, never mind. Wow, this French 75 has been great.
I think we should sign off as soon as possible.
Okay.
All right.
We're doing one more sip after this, right? That could be very bad.
So this could be the night that everybody subscribes to. Like, how does this end up? Oh, God.
Oh, what a train wreck.
We're off to France.
Chinese noodle. Wait, Baker's Creek seed, if you want seed. And then once you've got seed, you can keep your own seed.
Okay,
All
we
right,
definitely should sign off. Bye-bye.